Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and in this video we're going to be talking about some alternatives to some of the amazing hardware that's being released, and we're going to be talking about that. Now these are going to be things like FMSs, CDUs, autopilot panels. There's a ton of really awesome hardware getting ready to hit the market, if not out already, but they all come with somewhat of a steep price point. That's obviously going to be completely based on your budget. So today we're revisiting an app that I have looked at previously called SimBox. I'm going to show you guys how it benefits, in this case, the 737. And I'm going to start breaking it down by various aircraft, doing a couple different videos showing you guys the different features that it has. Today, again, it's going to be focused on the 737. Check it out. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkill's tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining us on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future releases that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below.
Overkill simulations, watch us as we fly. Overkill simulations, a thrill will never die.
All right, guys, so as I said, right now we are taking a look at SimBox with the 737, specifically, obviously, from PMDG. Now, first off, with SimBox, it is compatible with both XPlane as well as Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, SimBox can do a lot, everything from the G1000 to various general aviation controls to the Phoenix and fly-by-wire A320 series of aircraft, but today I chose to do the 737. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to walk you guys through some of the cool features that it has just specifically to the 737, one of those being the FMS export. This, what you guys are seeing here, this is a iPad, okay? I believe it is the Gen 11 is what this one is. So it is one of the newer ones. We are completely on the Wi-Fi network. Now, some of the things that I want you guys to understand right out of the gate is the response time is going to be strictly based on your device, and it's going to be strictly based on the Wi-Fi network that you have and how fast it is. I will tell you that most modern and newer mobile devices have better Wi-Fi cards than some of your computers do. Okay, for example, here we have the, or I can show you guys here. Here is the iPhone 15 Max Pro. It probably has a better Wi-Fi card in it than my computer does over here, okay? You can use just about any mobile device, whether it be Android or Apple. It is not restricted to either one. You purchase the base software, you load the software onto your desktop, and then connect to it with the whatever, whether it's on the Apple Store or the Play Store app that you download the client. The client, there's no charge for. You download the client after you have purchased the application on your PC. So now let's just start walking through some of the really cool stuff it can do, guys. When you launch the SimBox desktop app in administrative mode, it allows you to create a second monitor, essentially. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, doesn't matter how many. It is all a virtual monitor, meaning no cables, no desktop configuration required. As long as you launch the SimBox desktop app in administrative mode, it will create a virtual display that you guys will see here in a minute. So let's get into it. So first, it's going to be a little weird for me, guys, because I'm sort of looking at an angle. That way you guys can see it here on the camera. Hello. So first, you got a really nice map display. Nothing too fancy there. The plan, I have not loaded my SimBrief profile on here yet. Don't ask me why. I just haven't. But you can load your SimBrief flight plan directly into it. Sim rate. This was by my request. You can control the sim rate or even pause the simulator if you wish, which is extremely handy. Autopilot panel. Take a look at it, guys. It both reads directly from the sim, or we can control it directly from here. And it is speed sensitive if you choose. Okay, so you have a lot of different options there. Simply unclick. Okay, you have your radio panels. Oh, that isn't, there it goes. That time we got it. And so the radio panel is controlled the exact same way. Select your radio. You have your scroll bars here. We can adjust the frequencies. Works very, very well. And the nice thing is you can also adjust some of the sensitivity. Your lights. The lights is a little... The only thing that I don't like about the lights is if you look at the retractable landing lights, it brings these two down, but not the retractables. So, which is interesting because it even shows the retract. But everything else works just fine. All of your other lights function perfectly normal. Makes it very easy to navigate. Transponder, same way. So we're just going to tap it. Oh. Remember, I'm looking at this sort of a weird view, so bear with me, guys. There you go. You guys get the idea. And finally, let's skip the FMS, because that's the cool part. You have the FS, same thing. Select the one you want. And if we come down to the FS, right here. Okay, you guys get that gist, but here it is. So this, in order for this to work, you need to make sure that you use, that you launch the desktop app in administrator mode, and then there's a button that you just tap on it, and it automatically creates it or does the pop out. You drag it over to this screen, and again, all of the response time is going to be based on the quality of the device and the quality of your Wi-Fi. But when it works, or I should say when you get it working, the response time is very nice. Like, let's come down to the FMC here. There you go. And let's see. Let's just get something going here. Oh, you know what? There we go. And let's go to the X. And we're American Airlines 2536. And now we can go to our departures and arrivals. I mean, you guys can see the response time. The response time is absolutely fantastic. And again, this is on this particular device. We use the Hewlett Bend transition. We'll depart from runway 12. Go to route page. Activate. You guys get the gist. So everything works perfectly fine. It works very, very fast. It's very, very efficient. This is just the 737 version of this, you guys. And it works flawless. There are a ton of different options for this. Come over here, you go to change. Here are the profiles that currently exist for this. The fly-by-wire, the Phoenix A320, the 737. Look at that, newly added, the PMDG 777. The Aerosoft series of aircraft. The Asobo 787, which does for the most part work with all of the add-ons. You have the ATR, a GA default profile. There's the G1000 that we were talking about, and the G1000 will have the same thing where you can actually go to the G1000 and you can see what's popped out there. But if we were to fly something with the G1000, we would pop out the screen. I would just rotate this, and it works great as a G1000. The one thing that I will say with things like the G1000, again, that's going to be based on your device and the network on how quickly it updates. But the functionality is all there and works very, very nicely. All right, so anyways, guys, I really wanted to just showcase the simplicity of SimBox and how awesome it really is as a tool, especially for those who may not have the money or the space or whatever it may be, the resources to acquire a lot of these really cool devices that are coming out. There's some really badass hardware on the market, man. You have the mini FCUs and the mini series. You have WinWing launching their commercial lineup. You have WingFlex now stepping into the game with their amazing hardware. There's a ton of really badass hardware. Where pieces like this still have an absolute place in simulation is it offers you far more diversity and far more, I should say flexibility, not diversity. Flexibility in what you're flying and how you fly. Like I said, we could very easily switch over to an A320 and have all of the same features, or in this case, like we see here, the G1000. Now, I would like to personally see this expand to something like the GTN 750 or maybe the GNS 530 even, but like it's definitely on the right road. There will be a link to the Flying Art website down in the description below. Make sure that you guys check it out. The one thing I also say is the developer, guys, he was also over at the Flight Sim Expo showing off his new add-on called Cabby. Make sure you guys check that out as well. We'll be doing a review of that on the channel here very soon. But this application was something that I really wanted to make sure to bring out because it offers so much flexibility, as I said before. And you can use it on any device. So this is actually a relatively new iPad. I just recently got it probably about a month and a half ago. Before that, I was using a 10-inch Android tablet. It wasn't near as fast as this, but worked absolutely perfect. Like, I still didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. Just the speed, the connection wasn't always as fast. So just a few things to think about. You know, I know that with all this hardware that's coming around, it's definitely something that that's requiring a lot of thought on how you want to design your cockpits and how you want to build your sim setups. The other thing that I would recommend with using this, though, just to give you a bit more refinement on the screen size that can sometimes be an issue, is Pop-Out Panel Manager. You can find it on flightsim.to. It's a free piece of software that does a really fantastic job of not only popping out your panels, sizing your panels, positioning your panels, but also remembering where they are based on the aircraft that you're flying and the profiles that you create. You can create a different profile for each aircraft, and the really cool thing about Pop-Out Panel Manager is that once you load into that aircraft, it automatically switches, so all of your displays will go right to where they need to be. And again, this is working strictly on a wireless function. Okay, there's no cables, so we're strictly Wi-Fi right now, and it works perfectly fine. So let's go back to our PMDG 737. Let's get back into the FMC because that's the cool part. And bam, you guys can see how quickly it jumped over there. So it is a really, really awesome tool, you guys. I've been very, very impressed with it. This is the latest rendition of it. I just downloaded a fresh copy of it today, made sure that I had the latest and greatest version. And again, the speed is just on par. I do believe there is a way to hide the title bar. I'm just not too concerned with it because this is a, 15-inch screen, 12-inch screen, 13-inch screen. I don't remember what the hell it is. But it's a big enough screen where I just wasn't concerned about it. And especially when you have hands the size of mine. So it's definitely worth it, you guys. So again, link to it down in the description below. I hope you guys found this video useful. It gives you something more to think about outside of all the really awesome hardware that is coming, and gives you a new way to look at how to design your flight simulation setup, especially if you're someone like me who's either constantly changing aircraft or constantly changing hardware and your overall flying conditions. This is a great option for that. And so stick around. We're going to be doing quite a few different wireless and touchscreen options to give you guys some, again, some flexibility on how you want to design your setup. As always, folks, stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.